Hey there YouTube, what's up? This is CJ here, and today I want to share some fun and interesting information with you guys. I love science and I love the lore of video games, so I wanted to try and combine the two. Now I know that game theory's already done something similar to this. Don't leave me a bunch of stuff like that. All I'd want to do is combine the lore with a little bit of science. I don't want to focus on all the other aspects of games. I don't want to be counting pixels. I don't want to be doing all that. I just want to try to put a reasonable explanation behind why some things are the way they are in the lore of games. But now that I've said that, we can kind of move on and talk about what I want to talk about. Today I want to talk about the Draenei of World of Warcraft. These interesting creatures from the grand planet of Argus are quite intriguing. While there are many things I could ramble on about with this race of people, I'd like to talk about an overlooked trait that they have: the color of their blood. That might sound a little bit creepy. I'm not trying to sound creepy with that. But Draenei are a little bit different when it comes to the color of their blood. Their blood is blue, and that's hard to comprehend for us because our blood is red, so that's a little bit weird for a human. So I'd like to try to explain how such a thing could occur. To begin, I should explain how blood in humans gets its coloration. Human blood is the color it is due to fancy red blood cells. These red blood cells have a protein in them called hemoglobin, and this hemoglobin has iron in it. This iron binds to oxygen, and that's pretty much how we get the color of our blood to be red. So, obviously, if we wanted something to different color our blood, we couldn't use hemoglobin because hemoglobin is what gives us the red color. Now, there's some speculation. I've read a few forums, and it says that Cobalt could be the cause of what gives Draenei their blue blood. But I don't really think that would work, because one, there's no proof that it would actually be blue, and two, some experiments have been done replacing the metal ions in proteins to the likeness of hemoglobin, and it binds okay to the Cobalt, but getting it to unbind to, for the cells to use it is not nearly as effective. I think it's like 10 to 100 times less effective. So that would never work. You'd have to have really efficient cells, and I couldn't see, even with efficient cells, that could happen. But there is another protein that the Draenei could have. And this protein is called Hemocyanin. Excuse me if I got that wrong, but I believe that is what it's called. That's how it's spelled anyways. I could be just saying it wrong. But this Hemocyanin contains copper instead of iron, and that animals who have this protein have blue blood. So, that could point out why Draenei have blue blood. And another thing I want to point out is the tentacles on the Draenei's face. What are those? It's only on the males too, but that could point to another great thing that could help prove why Draenei might have hemocyanin in their blood. There are a species of octopod that I cannot pronounce for nothing. I will put it in the description, and they've been studied by these German scientists, and the German scientists have found that they contain hemocyanin in their blood, and the reason for this is because these octopods live in Antarctic waters. This Antarctic water is so cold that hemoglobin wouldn't work as well, so they have a high concentration of hemocyanin, which helps them get all the oxygen they could out of the surrounding water. So the Draenei could use this because, they've got tentacles on their face, so that's link number one. But they're also in space. And if you were to look at their spaceships don't seem like they would keep the cold out very well. I don't know exactly how the spaceships work, but if you look at them, those walls are kind of thin. So I don't really think that would work out too well if you're traveling through space. Space is pretty cold, but if they were to have this hemocyanin in high concentration, they could pull what little bit of oxygen they could and with it being so cold, it would work, because that's the same reason why these octopods have it, is because it's so cold and there's not as much oxygen. So, link number 2 to point this out. But that evidence is quite convincing that Draenei could have hemocyanin in their blood, and that's what gives their blood a blue color. And to cite that they have blue blood, I'd like to point out that in the game, if you were to hit a Draenei, then blue blood would spill out. Like, you can see the little particles, and I know that's kind of hard to see sometimes, but if you want a lore reason, in the book Rise of the Horde, it is mentioned that the Draenei have blue blood. So that's the proof of it. I know some of you might question, well, how do you know Draenei have blue blood? Well, that's how I know. So, but yeah, I just wanted to share this information with you. I thought it was a cool bit of information, and thanks for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe. I mean, that helps me out. And commenting, sharing the video, share it around. That helps so much, because it not only does it motivate me, but it also helps get the video to other people so that they can subscribe. I can get criticism. I